In the heart of a sprawling wildlife reserve, where the golden grasses sway gently in the breeze, a palpable tension hangs in the air. The sun begins its descent, casting a warm amber glow across the savannah, illuminating the majestic landscape that stretches as far as the eye can see. Here, nature thrives in its rawest form, a breathtaking tableau of life and survival, where every creature plays a role. The distant calls of birds echo above, while the rustle of leaves hints at unseen animals moving through the underbrush. Amid this vibrant ecosystem, one particular lioness stands out. She is strong yet vulnerable, her powerful frame betraying signs of impending motherhood. As she paces restlessly near a thicket, instinctively seeking shelter and safety, her golden fur shimmers in the fading light. The air is thick with anticipation, each moment heavy with expectation as she prepares to bring new life into this wild world. Around her, the sounds of the savannah fade into a hushed whisper. Even the other animals seem to sense the significance of what is about to unfold. A herd of impalas grazes cautiously nearby, their ears perked up as they remain alert to any signs of danger. The atmosphere is electric, a blend of beauty and tension that encapsulates the very essence of nature's cycle. Suddenly, from the shadows emerges a figure, a man who has dedicated his life to wildlife conservation. He approaches with a mix of trepidation and determination, acutely aware that he is stepping into an extraordinary moment in nature's timeline. His heart races as he observes the lioness's distress. He understands that she may face complications during this delicate process. This is not merely an act of witnessing. It is an opportunity for human empathy to intersect with the wild instincts of a lioness. As he draws closer, he can see her breathing quicken, her body tensed with each contraction. The man's instincts kick in. He knows he must be careful, but also courageous enough to offer help where it is most needed. The human-animal divide blurs as he becomes an unexpected participant in this primal dance of life. With each passing moment, the tension escalates. Shadows lengthen and darkness encroaches, yet hope flickers in the air like fireflies at dusk. The setting not only provides a stunning backdrop, but also underscores the profound connection between man and beast at this pivotal moment, one that will soon take an unexpected turn, altering their fates forever. The lioness, a magnificent creature in the prime of her life, embodies both strength and vulnerability as she prepares for one of nature's most profound rituals, giving birth. Her coat, a radiant gold that speaks to her health and vitality, is now dulled with the dust of the savannah. Each breath she takes is deep and steady, but the occasional tremor betrays the inner turmoil she faces. Her body instinctively knows that the time has come, but uncertainty lingers as she navigates this pivotal moment. As contractions begin, she shifts restlessly, seeking comfort in the familiar terrain of her territory. The thicket where she has chosen to give birth offers some seclusion, yet it is not without its challenges. With every tightening of her muscles, a low growl escapes her throat, a primal sound that echoes through the quiet landscape, a signal of both pain and determination. She paces back and forth, her eyes wide and alert, scanning the surroundings for any potential threats, while also focusing on the task at hand. In these moments of labor, instinct reigns supreme. The lioness displays typical behaviors associated with parturition, licking her paws anxiously, circling around her chosen spot to create a sense of safety and security. She occasionally pauses to rest, each contraction bringing with it waves of discomfort that seem to sap her energy. Yet there is a fierce resolve in her demeanor. She understands that this struggle is essential for the survival of her lineage. The signs of distress become more pronounced as the minutes tick by. As she lies on her side, visible tension ripples through her body. The man observing from a distance can see the glistening sweat that forms on her brow, a natural response to the exertion and stress of labor. Her breathing becomes erratic at times. Short gasps punctuate the air as she fights against the pain while instinctively trying to maintain composure. Yet amid the uncertainty, there is also a profound beauty in this moment. The bond between mother and cubs is about to be forged in the crucible of hardship. The lioness instincts kick into high gear. She begins to prepare herself for nurturing what will soon be her greatest treasure. Even as vulnerability envelops her, an undeniable strength emerges, a reminder that life continues in all its forms, even amidst trials and tribulations. As the sun dips lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the savannah, The atmosphere brims with urgency and anticipation. The lioness's journey is not just about giving birth. It encapsulates the essence of survival in the wild, a delicate balance between life and death that unfolds with every passing heartbeat. Just minutes away from bringing new life into the world, her fate hangs precariously in balance, setting the stage for what is to come. As the sun continues its descent, casting a golden hue over the savannah, the man draws closer to the lioness. He is not just any observer, he is a seasoned wildlife conservationist named David, whose life has been dedicated to understanding and preserving the intricate balance of nature. With years of experience under his belt, David has spent countless hours studying the behaviors of wild animals, particularly large predators like lions. His time spent in these wild terrains has forged an unbreakable bond with the creatures he admires, and he feels a deep sense of responsibility to protect them. David's connection to the lioness goes beyond mere fascination. He has been tracking her for months, documenting her life and helping to ensure the safety of her pride. The lioness is not just another animal to him, she is a symbol of resilience and beauty in a harsh world. He often recalls the moments he spent observing her, marveling at her grace as she navigated the challenges of survival in the wild. Each encounter solidified his belief that every creature plays a vital role in the ecosystem, and he sees himself as an advocate for their existence. When David first noticed signs that the lioness was preparing to give birth, a surge of urgency coursed through him. He understood that while nature could be unforgiving, there were instances where human intervention might make a difference. His motivations for assisting her are driven by both compassion and a profound respect for wildlife. Having witnessed the struggles of many animals in distress, he knows how critical it can be for someone with knowledge and experience to step in during such fragile moments. As he approaches, David's heart races not only from adrenaline, but also from an overwhelming desire to help. He is aware of the dangers involved. Lions are instinctively protective of their young, and any interference could provoke aggression. Yet his passion compels him forward. He feels an innate calling to be there for this lioness in her time of need, hoping that his presence might bring comfort rather than fear. David takes a deep breath, grounding himself as he observes her laboring form. He knows that every second counts, not just for the mother, but also for her unborn cubs. His hands may be human, but his heart beats in rhythm with the wild. In this precarious moment, he prepares himself both physically and mentally to offer support in whatever way he can. The weight of this responsibility rests on his shoulders. He is an unlikely helper in an extraordinary situation, ready to bridge the gap between human compassion and the raw instincts of nature. As the sun sinks lower on the horizon, casting a warm, dusky light over the savannah, the moment of truth arrives for the lioness. She lets out a low, guttural growl that reverberates through the air, a sound that encapsulates both her pain and determination. With each contraction, her body quakes, muscles tensing as she braces for the monumental task ahead. Time seems to slow as the world around her fades into a blur of anticipation. David watches intently from his position nearby, sensing the gravity of the situation. He can see her breathing grow more rapid, punctuated by sharp inhales and deep exhales that carry the weight of her struggle. The dust beneath her paws stirs with each movement, swirling in the air as if echoing the turmoil within her. The thicket that once offered solace now feels like a battleground, a place where life and vulnerability collide. With every wave of labor, the lioness instinctively shifts positions, seeking comfort and stability. She digs her claws into the earth, anchoring herself against the intensity of each contraction. Her golden eyes flash with fear and resolve as she glances toward David, who stands frozen in awe yet ready to assist if necessary. He can sense her emotional turmoil. This is not just a physical challenge, but an emotional crucible that will define her journey into motherhood. The first cub arrives suddenly, emerging into the world with a rush of life, a tiny creature wriggling on the ground as it takes its first breath. The lioness instincts kick in immediately. She licks the cub clean with fierce tenderness, while simultaneously letting out a triumphant roar that echoes across the reserve. It is a sound filled with both relief and joy, signaling that life has begun anew. But even amid this miraculous moment, complications arise. As another contraction hits, she struggles to push out the second cub. The urgency intensifies. David can see her body trembling under the strain. Each second feels eternal as she fights against fatigue while summoning every ounce of strength she possesses. Her growls grow louder, laced with primal ferocity and raw emotion, a mix of pain and perseverance that resonates deeply within him. With one final push, another cub slips into existence, its small form flopping onto the ground beside its sibling. In this moment of chaos, a profound transformation occurs within the lioness. She transitions from a solitary predator to a nurturing mother, fiercely protective of her newborn. As she gathers them close, their tiny bodies nestled against her warm fur, she emits soft chuffs, a sound that is both soothing and protective. David feels his heart swell at this display of life's resilience. The urgency of birth gives way to an overwhelming sense of awe, tempered by an underlying tension as he realizes how quickly things can change in nature's embrace. With two cubs now safe but vulnerable in this wild expanse, he prepares himself for whatever shocking event may unfold in these next few moments, aware that their survival hangs delicately in the balance. Just minutes after the lioness has welcomed her two fragile cubs into the world, the atmosphere shifts dramatically. The tranquil moment, filled with the sounds of soft chuffs and the gentle rustling of grass, becomes overshadowed by an unsettling tension in the air. David, still captivated by the miracle of life unfolding before him, suddenly senses a shift in the environment, an instinctual awareness that something is amiss. In a matter of seconds, the serenity of the savannah is shattered by a cacophony of alarm calls from nearby animals. The distant sound of startled gazelles echoes through the air, their frantic movements signaling danger. David's heart races as he scans the surroundings, his instincts screaming that a threat is imminent. The predator-prey dynamic of the wild is unforgiving, and he knows that this delicate moment for the lioness could quickly turn into a fight for survival. Without warning, a pair of hyenas emerges from the underbrush, their eyes glinting with hunger and malice. They have caught wind of the recent birth and are drawn to the vulnerable scent of newborn cubs. David's breath catches in his throat as he watches them approach, their low growls reverberating through the clearing. The lioness, initially focused on nurturing her offspring, now stands alert, her body tensing into a powerful posture as she instinctively positions herself between her cubs and the encroaching threat. The hyenas circle closer, emboldened by their numbers and driven by desperation. They snarl and yip at each other, communicating their intent to invade this sacred space. In that instant, David feels a surge of panic. He understands that the lioness's maternal instincts will soon be put to the ultimate test. She emits a thunderous roar that reverberates across the savannah, asserting her dominance and warning the intruders to stay away. But will it be enough? The hyenas are undeterred. They inch closer with unnerving confidence, sensing weakness in their prey. David knows he must act quickly to protect both the lioness and her newborns. He weighs his options, should he intervene directly or remain an observer. His heart pounds as he recalls his training. Human intervention can often do more harm than good in such scenarios. The tension escalates as the lioness lunges forward, swiping at one of the hyenas with her massive paw, narrowly missing its target, but making her intent abundantly clear. The hyenas retreat momentarily, regrouping and reassessing their approach. David takes a step forward, unsure if his presence will deter them or escalate the conflict further. In this moment of uncertainty and fear, time seems to stretch infinitely. The lioness stands resolute against overwhelming odds, embodying fierce protection for her cubs even as danger looms near. The savage dance between life and death plays out before David's eyes, a chilling reminder of nature's brutality as he braces himself for whatever horror may unfold next in this precarious balance between predator and prey. As the tension in the air thickens, David's mind races. The sight of the approaching hyenas sends adrenaline coursing through his veins. He knows that the lioness and her newborn cubs are in grave danger, and instinct kicks in. Standing at the edge of this unfolding drama, he weighs his options carefully, intervene directly or remain a passive observer. His heart pounds as he grapples with the implications of each choice. David takes a step forward, driven by an overwhelming urge to protect the vulnerable family before him. He realizes that hesitation could cost the lioness her life and that of her cubs. With every ounce of training and experience he possesses, he knows that acting decisively is crucial. But as a conservationist, he also understands that his presence could escalate the situation, potentially putting both himself and the animals at risk. He quickly scans his surroundings for anything that might help him deter the hyenas, or branches, stones, or anything that could create noise. In this moment of urgency, he recalls his previous encounters with wildlife. He has learned that loud sounds can sometimes scare off predators. David takes a deep breath and shouts, his voice booming across the savannah, "Hey, get away from them." It is a desperate yet powerful plea, echoing off the land as he hopes to draw the attention of the hyenas. The lioness looks back at him briefly, her fierce gaze filled with gratitude, but also a hint of confusion over this unexpected human presence. She remains steadfast, protective of her cubs, but David can see her exhaustion and determination mingling in her expression. It is a poignant reminder of her vulnerability in this moment. She is a fierce predator, yet completely reliant on her instincts to keep her young safe. As he continues to shout and wave his arms, David feels a surge of fear, mixed with resolve. Should one of the hyenas approach too closely, he knows he must be prepared to act further, whether that means throwing an object, or even physically stepping between them and the lioness if it comes to that. The primal instinct to protect rises within him as he weighs the risks. He understands that getting too close might provoke an attack from either side. The hyenas seem momentarily startled by his presence, hesitating as they assess this new variable in their pursuit. David uses this brief window of opportunity to move closer to the lioness, trying to create an additional barrier between her and the encroaching predators. With each passing second, hope flickers within him. Perhaps his actions will buy enough time for her to regroup and defend her cubs. The most profound realization strikes him. While human instincts may differ from those of wildlife, compassion transcends species. In this urgent dance between predator and prey, David stands resolute, not just as an observer but as an unlikely ally, willing to fight for life amid nature's brutal realities. The stakes couldn't be higher as they collectively confront their fate under the vast expanse of the African sky. In the aftermath of the harrowing encounter, the savannah falls into an unsettling silence. The lioness, having fiercely defended her newborns from the threat of the hyenas, stands panting heavily, her body tense but resolute. The immediate danger has dissipated as the hyenas, deterred by David's unexpected intervention and the fierce protective stance of their intended prey, have retreated into the underbrush. Yet the weight of the moment lingers in the air, charged with the raw intensity of survival. David approaches cautiously, his heart racing as he takes stock of the situation. The lioness shifts her gaze toward him, a mix of gratitude and weariness reflected in her golden eyes. She remains vigilant, ensuring that her cubs are safe and close to her side. The two tiny forms lie nestled against her warm fur, their little bodies still trembling from the shock of their birth and the chaos that unfolded moments later. David's heart swells with relief as he observes them, their tiny paws moving slightly, a sign that they are alive and seemingly unharmed. Yet the emotional toll is palpable. The lioness's breaths come in heavy gasps as she tries to regain composure after such a tumultuous experience. David can see the exhaustion etched across her features. This ordeal has taken a toll on her physically and emotionally. She is not only recovering from the physical strain of childbirth, but also reeling from the instinctual fear that comes with protecting her young from predators. For David, the aftermath is equally profound. He feels a mixture of relief and lingering adrenaline coursing through his veins as he processes what just happened. The weight of intervening weighs heavily on his conscience. He knows that he has altered the natural course of events. While he acted out of compassion and a sense of duty to protect life, he cannot shake off the feeling of vulnerability that envelops him now. He questions whether his actions truly helped or merely complicated an already delicate situation in nature's cycle. As he stands there, watching the lioness tenderly lick her cubs clean and nuzzle them close, he feels a deep connection to this moment, the fragile beauty of new life juxtaposed against the harsh realities of survival. David understands that while he may have played a small role in their safety today, there are no guarantees in nature. The sun sinks lower on the horizon, casting long shadows across the landscape, a reminder that time is both fleeting and precious in this wild expanse. He knows that to survive here, both for himself and for these animals, they must rely on their instincts and strengths. With a heavy heart yet hopeful spirit, David decides to remain nearby for a while longer. He wants to ensure that both lioness and cubs are safe before he leaves them to navigate their world once more. In this poignant aftermath, each creature, man and lion alike, carries scars from this encounter, emotional reminders woven into their lives as they continue to forge ahead in an unpredictable wilderness, where survival is never guaranteed but always fought for fiercely.
As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, David reflects deeply on the extraordinary events that have unfolded before him. The birth of the lioness's cubs, intertwined with the threat of hyenas, has illuminated the complex and often precarious relationship between humans and wildlife. This experience serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance that exists in nature, one that is easily disrupted by human intervention or natural predation. David considers his role in this moment. While his intention was to protect, he recognizes that human presence can complicate the lives of wild animals. The instinctual behaviors of creatures like this lioness are finely tuned to their environment, developed over millennia. His actions, though driven by compassion, could have unintended consequences. This duality encapsulates the broader implications of conservation work, the need for careful consideration of how human actions impact wildlife. The encounter also highlights the importance of conservation efforts. As habitats diminish and human encroachment increases, animals face unprecedented challenges in their natural environments. The lioness and her cubs symbolize not only resilience, but also vulnerability in a world where survival is increasingly uncertain. David understands that each instance of intervention must be approached with caution, ensuring that it aligns with broader conservation goals rather than undermining them. In this moment of reflection, he realizes that education is vital. By sharing his experiences and insights gained from this encounter, he hopes to raise awareness about the challenges faced by wildlife and the importance of preserving their habitat. It is essential for people to appreciate the intricacies of nature and recognize their responsibility as stewards of the environment. Additionally, David acknowledges the emotional toll this experience has taken on him. Witnessing both the beauty and brutality of life in the wild evokes a profound sense of empathy toward these creatures. It reinforces his commitment to conservation and reminds him that every decision has weight, impacting not just individual animals but entire ecosystems. As he watches the lioness begin to groom her cubs, he feels a renewed sense of purpose. The sight is a powerful testament to life's resilience amid adversity. It inspires him to continue advocating for wildlife protection and habitat preservation. He understands that while nature can be harsh, it is also filled with wonder, a cycle of life that deserves respect and protection. David leaves that savannah that evening with more than just memories. He carries forward a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness between humans and wildlife. He recognizes that every encounter is an opportunity for learning, growth, and advocacy. In this extraordinary moment forged in nature's crucible, he finds hope not only for the future of a lioness and her cubs, but also for all creatures navigating an increasingly complex world shaped by humanity's choices. As the day draws to a close and the last rays of sunlight fade into twilight, the story of the lioness and her unexpected helper resonates with profound themes that echo throughout the natural world. Courage, compassion, and the unpredictability of nature weave together in a tapestry of life that is both beautiful and fierce. In this extraordinary encounter between a man and a wild lioness, we witness the heart of what it means to coexist within a world governed by instinct and survival. The courage displayed by the lioness is palpable. Despite her vulnerability in the face of danger, she fiercely protects her newborn cubs, embodying the raw essence of motherhood. Her instinctual response to defend against the threat of hyenas showcases not only her strength, but also the inherent resilience found within nature. It reminds us that true bravery often lies in the quiet determination to safeguard those we love, even amid uncertainty. David's actions reflect a different kind of courage, a willingness to step into the wild and confront the unknown. As he intervenes to protect the lioness and her young, he exemplifies human compassion at its most profound. His presence serves as a bridge between two worlds, highlighting that empathy can transcend species barriers. Yet it also underscores the complexities involved in such interventions. While his intentions were noble, they prompted reflection on how humans interact with wildlife. The unpredictability of nature looms large over this narrative. The swift turn of events, from joyous birth to imminent danger, reminds us that life is fraught with uncertainty. In nature's realm, moments of beauty can quickly transform into trials, creating a delicate balance where survival is never guaranteed. This truth resonates deeply with all who inhabit this planet, encouraging us to embrace both the highs and lows that life presents. As David watches the lioness nurture her cubs in the fading light, he is struck by a poignant realization. Every creature plays an essential role in this intricate web of existence. The experiences shared between him and these wild beings illuminate not only their struggles, but also their triumph. He understands that moments like these are fleeting yet transformative. They shape our understanding of life, instilling a sense of responsibility toward conservation and coexistence. In closing, this story leaves us with a lingering thought. In a world where chaos often reigns, there exists an undeniable beauty in acts of courage and compassion. Whether it's a lioness fiercely protecting her young, or a man stepping into the wild to help, these moments remind us that we are all part of something greater than ourselves. As we navigate our own lives filled with unpredictability, may we carry forward the lessons learned from this encounter, embracing courage, nurturing compassion, and respecting the intricate dance of life that unfolds around us every day.